What is up, y'all? It is June 4th, 2025. I'm currently 22 years old. I'll be 23 on the 9th, on Monday, in 5 days. And I feel like right now I'm going through a very transitional period. I just feel very uncomfortable in the skin that I'm in at this moment in time. And I've been feeling this way for a little bit, but basically I just feel like I'm living somebody else's life. Let me take that back, because power of the tongue and all that. But basically what I mean is that I feel like I'm outgrowing my life, and I'm kind of feeling discomfort in the way that it's going, because I feel like I'm aging out of it. And not for nothing, I'm only going to be 23 years old. Like, I'm not that old, but it just kind of feels like a new level of adulthood that I'm getting to, and I don't feel like I'm where I anticipate 23-year-old me being at. So of course I have a lot of gratitude for the life I live, and I feel like I'm very rich, very blessed with the life that I get to have, and I feel like I'm blessed to have it. But I do feel like it's time for me to kind of elevate, or kind of like switch up my form of execution in this life. So I feel this in so many different sections of my life. I feel it in my appearance, my physical appearance. I feel it in my living situation. I feel it in my career / education. And I feel it in like patterns that I see in myself that I would like to change, ideally before my frontal lobe develops and my brain becomes a lot less malleable, in my habits. When it comes to my appearance, I feel like a lot of the time when I look at myself in the mirror, I feel like I'm looking at somebody else. There was a point in time where I would look in the mirror and I loved looking at myself in the mirror, and I would do it super often, and I would always take photos of myself. And now when I take photos of myself, I just kind of don't like it. Like, I'm not attracted to the human that I'm seeing on my screen. And like, when other people are taking photos of me, I feel like they're not even photographing me. Like, they're not capturing my essence, or like, I don't see myself as like, it's not often that I'm seeing a photo that somebody else took of me, or a photo of myself, and I'm like, wow, so gorgeous. I'm just like, aw, like whatever. And it's like, I'm almost not even trying anymore. And so like, my clothing, I'm not into like shopping, or like shopping on trends, because one, I think it's unnecessary. Two, I literally cannot afford it. And three, like, that's just how I was raised, because we weren't going shopping like every season. We would go school shopping every year, and that was it. Like, that's when we would do our shopping, like at the beginning of the school year. And I think like it's the same thing now. Like, I'll do it like once a year. Like, I'll get a few pieces of clothing like once a year. And even then, I was doing my school shopping at the thrift store, or like, for example, at the mall. Like, I would go to Forever 21 and buy things that were like relatively cheap. So yeah, I was thrift shopping, bro, and that's still how I shop to this day. Like, I don't buy expensive clothes. I thrift everything. I buy everything secondhand, literally everything. I haven't bought myself a pair of shoes in like years, literally years. I have not got myself a pair of shoes. And I have had the same clothes for a long time, because since I do shop secondhand, those clothes do tend to last me longer. And then if I buy things like, let's say for example, like at Marshall's, or like H&M or Forever 21, like randomly, I'll hold on to that. And then every once in a while I'll buy like for example, last year I bought a birthday dress that was over $100. Mind you, I got a big discount on that. And then on top of that, another way I get clothes is that my grandma just brings them because she works in housekeeping, and so like sometimes people will leave stuff behind. And so basically everything that I'm getting is secondhand, and I keep it for a long time because I wear the clothes that I receive because I genuinely like them. So I'm not like just shopping on trend and like changing my style every so often. I have like a personal style, I guess you could say, which isn't even a personal style because I'm kind of just getting whatever I can get and then experimenting from there. So I just feel like I'm not resonating with my wardrobe anymore. I feel like very childish. I feel very young, and I feel like it's not representative of how I would like to present myself anymore. And then my hair is another thing. My hair is like pretty long now, but I just have not had the energy to really like pour love into my hair the way that it deserves and the way that it needs. And when curly hair is long, it is a effort, okay? Like an extreme sport to keep it healthy and like moisturized and not constantly tangled and like breaking off. And so I'm not putting in that love and time because quite frankly, I don't have the energy for it often, and I'm kind of getting detached from like having to extensively care for my hair in this way. And so I'm not treating it well, and it's really obvious that I'm not treating it well because it's not responding well, and it just feels like a disservice or like a act of anti-self-care to not like really pour love into my hair, you know? So I'm not really feeling my hair anymore either. Like I just kind of want to get rid of it. I've been contemplating like cutting it lately. And yeah, I just feel like a shift is coming. So I just talked a lot. I just talked for like 5 minutes straight just about my appearance. And then when it comes to like my living situation, I do still live at home, and I love living at home because it's super convenient and I love being around my family. But I do feel like I'm limiting myself in a lot of ways by, you know, staying so close to home because I am super attached to my family and like my mom especially. And I feel like I can't visualize myself. Sometimes I can't visualize myself like living on my own and paying my own rent and buying my own groceries and cooking for myself and like, you know, getting myself to from wherever I need to go and just being a financially stable like adult. Like it's really hard for me to picture myself in that position. And because I do have like a loving family and it's not an urgent situation for me to like get away from them, I feel like even more comfortable, and I feel like that comfort stops me from pursuing something else because I'm like, I have no reason to leave. Like, why would I leave if everything's perfectly fine here? And so I feel like that comfort also kind of places me in the role of a child, which makes me kind of view myself as maybe like, you know, less capable than I actually am because I feel like a kid basically. And it's a really interesting like kind of tension that I have because when I'm at my internship and when I'm like at school or at work, I feel like a woman. Like I feel very mature and I feel like grown and I feel competent and like I know what I'm doing, and I feel older than all of my peers. Granted, I'm only maybe 2 years older than like the rest of my peers, or like a year or two. And I just feel like since I'm still a student, it hinders me from, you know, like kind of making enough money. And maybe that's an excuse because I know some students that are making, you know, like a living for themselves, but I feel like me being in school takes up so much of my time that I'm not really, you know, making as much of an income as I would like. Granted, I've been able to get paid a lot for things that I'm like taking care of, like that I'm doing. For example, like my internship and then the job that I have, I do get paid. But I feel like for a 23-year-old, I should be making a lot more and better able to like take care of myself financially. So those are other tensions that I'm feeling. Just kind of wanting a little bit more independence and just wanting to kind of like spread my wings and just kind of fly and ground myself in my own identity, because I feel like I don't really know who I am or like what I want out of life or like what's possible for me, because I'm so rooted in familiarity and like staying in the same spot. So there's that. And then simultaneously, I feel like I need to up my ante in terms of like creation, like making art and like being a professional and like showing up in those ways. And then personally, just like patterns that I see myself repeating, or like my mental health, for example, like I feel like I'm noticing things about like the way that my brain works that is like kind of exposing to me like how little I do to take care of my mental health, especially considering the fact that it's something that I struggle with a lot, and I have struggled with for a big part of my life. And I've kind of just learned to mask and, you know, like do like harm reduction strategies rather than just like holistically like healing from the inside out, rather than just like superficially doing things to kind of prolong and push things back. Because not gonna lie, bro, like I do a lot and I do it well, and I carry a lot, but I carry it well, so it seems like it's not that heavy. But I be fucking struggling to do the things that I need to do like on a day-to-day basis. Like even just getting dressed sometimes is like a struggle for me. And a lot of the discomfort and like roadblocks and tensions and conflicts that I face in my interpersonal, my professional, my educational, all aspects of my life come from the fact that like my brain is on overload mode, coming from the fact that I live inside of my head, and so there's this whole other reality that I'm existing in that maybe doesn't match what's actually happening in front of me. The fact that like my emotions are very hard for me to regulate sometimes, and that I'm very emotional, and sometimes I can't access my emotions until they're suddenly all here. And the fact that like my inner voice can be very mean sometimes, you know, and I don't want to be mean to myself. Like I don't deserve that. And then that inner voice being very mean and harsh translates into being very mean and harsh, and, you know, not as gentle as I would like to be with other people. And yeah, like I'm just kind of looking at all aspects of myself, and I'm just really craving some kind of positive change. I'm really wanting to set some intentions for what I want this next year of my life to look like. What is 23 gonna bring for me, you know? Like I did my video last year of like what 21 taught me going into 22, and now 22 has taught me a lot, and I've seen a big part of my shadow self, and particularly when it comes to my anger. And that's something that I didn't mention with my mental health, is that like since I am super emotional and soft and vulnerable, I kind of mask that vulnerability with anger, because that emotion is protective of my soft inner shell. I am a Cancer rising after all. So that anger is a beautiful emotion, I'll say. Anger does a lot for you. Anger does protect you, and anger has started revolutions. Sometimes anger doesn't always serve you, and I hold on to a lot of anger, and it can become my default, and that's not something that I want to subscribe to anymore, and that's something that I did learn. There's so many positive things that I learned in 22. so many positive things, so many things that I accomplished, so many things to be grateful for, so many things that I've improved on and gotten better at and worked on. And I did so many things and saw so much just in the past month alone, and found love and found beautiful friendships and found like purpose in life and direction, and just kind of really felt more secure in the path that I'm moving towards. So 22 has been amazing. I can't take anything away from 22, like at all. You know, like I've lost, I've found, I've fucking gone places, I've traveled. I finally had the opportunity to travel that I have not had previously. I have a really great track record for 22. 22 is going down in the books as like a great year. You know, like nothing else I can say to that. And I think right now I am in a transitional period, but I'm also in a period of immense gratitude. Like I've just been taking the time a little bit each day to just sit and take a moment of gratitude, even if it's 10 minutes, and to just like take score of where I'm at currently and what is beautiful about the life that I live, and to just appreciate the moment that I'm currently in. It's easier said than done, and a lot of the time I can get really worked up and sad, especially when I feel myself looking into the future. But those moments where I sit and I'm just present with where I am make a world of a difference, and I really do feel more grateful for where I'm at and for the people in my life when I take the time to do that. And so yeah, that's what I want to say. I know I just said like a lot of things that I don't like. I started with that. I should have started with the positives, but we're here. I want to say that like this current period in my life, like I want to remember this moment, and I want to love on it, and I want to like really appreciate it and take it for what it is, because I'm never gonna get this moment back. And there will be one day where I look back at this moment in time and be like, damn, I miss when I used to live with my mom and I used to, you know, commute to this internship, and I was still in school, and I worked at the gallery, and I was traveling to all these places, and I got to be with my cat Valentina, and I have all my family here with me, and my niece and nephew were this little, and I made this, and I was working on this image, and like, wow, look how much it's changed. Like everything that's around me right now is so beautiful. And like I said, to reiterate, I'm extremely, incredibly rich right in this moment. Like even however you define rich, I'm rich right now. I am abundant as brick. Hella abundant. You guys, like life right now is great. It's great. I'm just excited to see like how I can step out of feeling like an imposter in my own body, and how I can kind of reach the goals that I have for myself. It's really about setting goals, because you know, like I don't know, I don't think I really want to, you know, discredit the life that I have right now, but maybe I just did do that a little bit, forgive me, but you know, life is beautiful right now. Life is perfect as it is. I'm reframing it as I'm just excited to see what turns life will bring. And life is never all positives or all negatives, so I'll certainly be thrown for some kind of loop in the future. But I think that for right now, I just want to appreciate where I'm at. This started going a different direction than I expected it to, but that's the power of expressing gratitude. So yeah, I'm happy in this moment right now. nothing is as big as it seems it might be. And I think right now the goods are outweighing the bads. So what if I don't have all the clothes that I want? So what if I'm, you know, having to pull from my savings? So what if my hair's messy sometimes? So what if my studio is messy? Like, my studio can be messy, and what? Y'all be acting like your rooms, your studios don't be messy. Like, let's be real. Let's be real. Should be messy. Like, what can I say? I have no excuses. I am who I am. I am who I am. That is like the crux of all of this. Like, I am who I freaking am, bro, and that's it. Like, punto y final. There's nothing that anybody could do to change that, not even me. I'm always gonna be me, no matter what changes come into my life, good or bad, but mostly good, we hope. So yeah, you know, I was feeling a little bit sad today because of some instance that happened in my personal life, but guess what? It's okay. Like, this is why it's good to talk about things. It just kind of gets your thoughts out. Yeah, good for me. Good for me. Pat myself on the back. This is self-love, and this is the reason why I talk to myself, because sometimes I'll just be talking out loud and then figure out that I knew the answer all along. The answers are within you. That's what I'm leaving you with today. So thank you for listening to me. Thank you for walking with me. Thank you in advance for walking with me in the future. And I love you. And yeah, that's the power of expressing gratitude. I hope you have a good rest of your nights. And yeah. Oh, it's June. So it's my birthday. So happy birthday month. Happy Pride. Happy Juneteenth. Happy Caribbean American Heritage Month. And happy summer. If I'm missing anything, please do let me know. But June is such a beautiful month filled with so many celebrations. And yeah, it's my favorite month. I'm looking forward to the second half of 2025, you guys. Let's make it a good one. Wow. Okay. I love you. Have a good night. Take care of yourself.